Oops. I brought treats today for my kitties. Hello, everybody. Oh, get down. Get down. You're not allowed up here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put them on the blanket, see if they'll lay there. There she goes. Oh, I'm gonna have to choose like a lighter. I'm gonna have to choose a lighter blanket for them to lay on. Okay, I don't know that I like that song. Okay, it's okay because it's done. Oh, excuse you. And who said you could be up here? She's like, but I wanted a treat. Okay, so I'll just hold you. Hi. Kitty. Ouch. There she goes. Ooh. This song is called Funeral in a Tavern. Nice. Oh, she's still sniffing around. I'm hoping they stay. So I'm contemplating what I'm going to do today. And I'm a little late because we're having some health concern things. So, but I am here now. So I have my title as Making Clay Fairy Houses again, but I'm also contemplating opening a box of glazed ware that I finally brought back from the place that I got it fired. So I'm kind of trying to decide what I'm going to do there. But I think I'll just work on the house today. But I want to also get TikTok going. I tend to get more engagement on TikTok, which is why I like to also have that. I'm just switching the direction it's looking. Using my fancy stand again to get it up and running. And then I've been working on another house. Oops. I've been working on another tiny house sort of thing. I made like a magic bookstore, and now I'm going to be doing what is it? It's just a magic house, that's what it is. So I'm in the process of making a fairy house and a magic house. It's good stuff. Okay. Wait. Is this connected to... Sorry, I was just checking something else. So I kind of changed my setup a little bit, and I'm going to change it again because I'm hoping to be able to stream from the desk kind of behind me now. But it's weird because like I don't like the background that I would have because it's a messy closet. But I'm also going to be tearing that wall open once we tear our floors out. So, it'll work. All right. So, let's get started. Oh my gosh, I need to get a new phone case. Look at this. It is just breaking to pieces. All of the corners are missing. But hey, I've had this for like 4 years. It has done its job. 4 years for a phone case. And it's still sort of in one piece. Not that that's an ad for a phone case, but it's honestly really good quality. So highly recommend if anyone's in the market for a phone case. But I don't know that they're actually able to be purchased anymore. So maybe just ignore everything I just said. Okay, I need to readjust this because the light is getting blocked by that. There we go. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Hello, TikTok. So I'm also live on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. And I'm trying to do that because I have a tendency to not get very much engagement on one platform, so I just split to get more engagement. That's not a bug, is it? No, okay, it's a fuzzy. I forgot to get the water in my cup, so I'm gonna go do that super quick. Kitty, come here. Come here. You wanna come sit with me? I'm trying to convince my cat to come sit with me, but I think she just thinks I'm gonna give her more treats, which I could. I could give her more treats. But I want her to come sit down here. Come here, kitty. Let's see if we can convince her. There she is. I know you want another treat, but you're already fat. I can't give you a ton of treats. If you're watching on TikTok and you're confused, I have a cat cam on Twitch and YouTube. So if my cat decides to sit down here on the blanket, we might have a friend. But I think she knows that I'm trying to record her. She's like, that's a violation of my privacy. So I am currently in the process of working on this fairy house, and okay, I thought it was going to be so dry. It's pretty dry though, so I kind of need to finish it today, I think. So let's unwrap this. Oh my gosh. Can you hear that sound? That's the clay water. I'm trying to keep up with TikTok messages as well, so bear with me if you say something and I don't see it. Okay, so what I did last time, I did this, I can't remember what the technique is called, but this is something that I did in college, where you get clay wet and then you put plastic on top to create a texture. So now is the moment of truth for satisfying peel off, and we'll see if it worked. I'm kind of nervous. I was trying to make like folds in the clay. Where's the end? Oh, there it is. I was trying to make folds in the clay to make it look like water, but I'm a little worried that I might have done it prematurely and it might be ruined later. It might have worked. Okay, this side definitely looks more like water than the other side. I might be able to do it again, but maybe if I hold this up to the camera, you guys can see what I'm talking about. So, I've kind of got this texture going on here on where there's supposed to be water. But I like this side better. I like this side better. Does that look like water ripples to you? I feel like it kind of does. I think we'll go with it. Oh, right here especially. Oh my gosh, yeah, that looks really good. There's like some little wave designs going on there. Yeah. All right, so now we get to the really complicated part where I carve things out. I've been kind of putting this step off, if I'm being honest. But it's dry enough now that I can scrape and not ruin everything, which is my ideal, because personally I don't love it when I ruin my art. You know? Seems pretty valid to me. I've been saying that a lot, the word valid. Okay, I did this in a really weird way. I should have sculpted the base of the house first. We shall slowly carve away at this. No cat for the cat cam yet. That's a bummer. I have a cat cam on Twitch and YouTube. Maybe I should just pay for the premium version of the Restream tool I use, because it would be worth it to be able to have my cat cam on TikTok as well. But you have to pay for the premium in order to have another stream source. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. That really helps get more people in. And definitely like the live if you are enjoying. Oh, I really like the music that's playing right now. Some of the music on this playlist is weird, but some of it is really peaceful. I want to listen to things like the Brave soundtrack or the Harry Potter soundtrack, but of course those things are copyrighted, and that does not sound like something I want to do and get myself in trouble for. Thanks for sharing the live. I am not sure if I like the little bumps on top of the mushroom though, but I definitely like the texture underneath. I'm liking that a lot. I'm going to be able to dry brush that. I need like a piece of foam to set this on. I have foam. Ooh, maybe? I might have foam. I do have foam. But I wonder how many bugs are on it. Doesn't look like any. Impressive. You guys, I traded where my cat cam was to a different spot, and guess where the cat is laying right now? The place that used to be my cat cam. What the heck, kitty? So I'm just cutting a slice of this foam, and then I'm going to use it and stack it up to rest my clay project on. Ooh, it's raining. Probably can't hear it over me talking and the music. This is the way that professionals do foam padding for sculptures. They just haphazardly cut it. Definitely to size. They're all the same size. I don't recommend picking up your artwork like that either, by the way, if you're wondering. So now I can very, very gently set it on its side and not break it. And now I should be able to carve a different way. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get all of the details on the door correct. I think I might just glue in some things after it's dry. For example, I tried on my old fairy house to add like a little doorknob that was wired, or I guess it was more like a handle, but it rusted because the clay was wet. So, stands to reason that I'd do better to add it in after. Oh, I just cut into the door frame. It's really hard to catch this on multiple angles of cameras. But I will say, I think this is better for my overhead camera. But there's always so many shadows that are created. So I know there's been some talk about the cherry blossoms blooming a little earlier this year. And that is a valid concern about things warming up too quickly. We had, I think, a day that was, I think it was like 75 degrees, and I live in the Midwest. We never have 75 degrees. That was in February? No, it was March, I think. But it was like crazy warm. And that was a concern. But now it's 40 something degrees. And I know it just turned to be April, but I still am kind of like rooting for the warmer weather to start coming in. And it should be warming up beyond the 40s next week, so I'm excited. At least that's what the weather forecast says, so we'll see if it's true. Sorry you guys can only see the back right now. I had to work on it from the other side for a minute. I just realized I'm blocking the entire light for the cat cam. So I was looking up chairs because I would like to get a new chair for my office. And I was looking into some of those chairs that people can sit differently in because I literally never sit in a chair right. I currently have one foot tucked under the other leg. And I like to sit cross-legged sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. I hardly ever sit with my legs flat and my feet flat on the floor. So I was looking into this chair that you can kind of put your legs up on a stool that's also a part of the chair. And it was like $300. I was like, I am not spending $300 on a chair. Considering we need a new vehicle. So. And just in general, $300 for a chair is kind of crazy, in my humble opinion. If you got the money, I guess it makes more sense, but I do not. Got a ball on a budget, being a teacher. So we finally went back from spring break today, and I ended up having to leave because of kind of like a family emergency problem. So it ended up being like a half day for me. Which, not the best reason to miss work. I will say. But it is what it is. Some of this music is so quiet, and then it gets really loud again. So I like turn it down, turn it up. So I'm going to carve down these like polka dots on top of the mushroom a little bit. See, I'm trying to sit on my foot again, but I can't do it because my chair is not very good. So now the question is, do I square out these dots? Not square them as in make them square, but make like the edges straight, if that makes sense. I have been kind of counting down for the end of the school year because we're getting closer and closer. We now have, including the rest of this week, we have 9 weeks left. So 8 weeks and 3 days left. And I think that's 42 days of school, not including weekends and days off. Less than 2 months, though, which is crazy. Oh, didn't I want to add like a chimney? I did. I could always make it separately and glue it on later because this is air dry clay. I really should make these with real clay too. But it's going to end up being so much more expensive if I sell them because it takes way longer, and if you glaze, that's added expense. But if I do air dry clay, I don't have to use a kiln. It can just dry on its own, and then I can use paint and sealant that I already have. But I don't have glazes that work well for coloring pieces like this. I have glaze that works better for coloring like functional pieces. I've not drank enough water today. I normally drink so much more by now. I actually left my water bottle at work when I left. So I had to go back later to clean stuff up anyway, after not having a sub, actually. I thought I was going to have a sub, but no one was able to take the job. So I got everything ready for no reason, and I had to go clean everything up for no reason. I could have just cleaned it up to begin with. But I almost wonder, like, what would happen if they just didn't get substitute teachers for, like, the specials, because I teach elementary art. And so I wonder, would it be that bad to just not get subs for that? I guess the teachers would lose out on a lot of prep time, but probably not a lot of prep time. It'd just be occasional. But I'm just going to say this. Art teachers lose out on prep time all the time. I have students that constantly want to come work in my room during my prep, and anytime there's a student, your focus is completely split, so you don't get as much done. Because they want to interact with you, they want to talk to you. And that's fine. I enjoy it. But then I can't focus on prep because I want to give them my attention. I want to give them valuable bonding time with their teacher. Especially if you can tell they look up to you, you know? So, I think that's important. We actually started having a bunch of third grade students who started like a cleaning club, which I thought was so funny, but it's been such a help because I don't know if you guys know this about art, but it is a very messy thing. What? No. Art can never be messy. But so when they first came in, I was like, you want to just help clean just because? I thought it was kind of funny. And now we just kind of expect them to show up every day, or most days. Not expect, but look forward to. That's a better way to put it. And it's true, we do really look forward to it. It's a huge help. And sometimes having students help clean is almost like more work. But the first few times they did it, we had to like stop everything we did and tell them what to do. But now they can come in and, yes, seriously, encourage your kids to help their teachers too. They really, the teachers would appreciate it big time. But also it makes it fun. So that's a great point, Chaplain Mike, for sure. And anytime you connect cleaning with fun, it's like a game. I actually use this thing called Supply Jail. So I'm kind of a little OCD on where things go. So if people don't put... Oh, hi, Mike. I was wondering if it was someone I knew. But so I have Supply Jail, and anytime students don't put something away where it goes into Supply Jail. And in order to use that supply again, they have to empty Supply Jail completely before they actually can use any of the supplies again from in there. And it has worked so well, I don't even need to encourage them to empty it. They will just spend all of their time emptying it. I've actually had to limit them on when they can empty Supply Jail because they just want to empty Supply Jail. Like, I've had to say, oh, you can only do it during cleanup time. Otherwise, you can't get a point. I give them points for emptying it. If they get 3 points, they get something out of the treasure box. But other schools I've done the Supply Jail with, I didn't need to use the positive reinforcement. We just agreed together, me and the students, we agreed together that it would be fair to not give it out every time, but like every 3 times, so they just collect points. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I wish I had my other clay tools in here, because carving this out is taking quite some time. Did my camera die? No. Dang it. Not again. Shoot. So. Maybe don't take the battery pack out while it's still up there, huh? Yeah, that did not work very well. That was a mistake. It's gonna die immediately again. I just opened it and closed it again. Yeah. Shocking. I wonder if I could get the other thing to work. I need to buy a new one. It's like a plug that hooks right up to my battery pack. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna get rid of my face cam and then just put it where the other camera goes. Alright, so face cam is no more for now. So cat cam and work cam is all I got. Sorry for those of you on TikTok, because you're probably confused as to what I'm talking about. Alright, there we go. That is better. It's because I always forget to plug it in before I finish up. Before I clean up, I should say. And this is why I either need a second battery or I gotta replace that battery pack. The power cord battery pack. That made it so easy. I literally never had to charge my camera. I could just keep my battery pack charged for times when I might need it on the fly. So right now I'm trying to thin out the inside. Sorry. I was just listening for something. Yeah, it's the best battery thing ever, but mine just stopped working one day. I was like, no. Because I had it plugged in and I was streaming, and I was like, why did my camera turn off? This thing is supposed to never die. But, unfortunately, it did die. Completely. The dummy battery was toast. So I need to order one, but I always forget, obviously when I'm streaming, I don't want to stop and order it, but then I forget as soon as I'm done recording that that's an issue. I just got a message from my student teacher. Well, my host teacher from when I student taught. That was a confusing way to put it. Okay, so now I'm going to carve out a window on the back because I want light to shine through it. The idea is that I'm going to put lights inside of this so that it can light up. And I want to use better lights than I've used in the past. I just used a tea light for my first fairy house like this, but it just did not get bright enough. Alexa, skip. I don't want to listen to Happy Birthday. I just found a royalty-free tavern playlist because it's kind of like fantasy type music, so I figured it would go well with the fairy house. But then there's some weird songs like a tavern funeral song. A few other things like that. The Happy Birthday song. It's kind of silly. It'd be really nice if I could just listen to other music that I like and that other people like too. But then, of course, you can get in trouble for doing that. Which I, understand if you're making money off of it, but I don't make any money. This is just for funsies. But I don't want to risk any potential issues. You know, I wouldn't have to do so much carving if I put the lights kind of around the outside too. So have maybe like a main light inside, but then some of those like LED string lights on the outside. Oh, there's a kitty. Lay down. Yay. That is why I have a cat cam. She's making biscuits. That's cute. I knew it would work. Actually, I didn't because it kept not working. I saw a few other streamers have like a cat cam, which is where the idea came from. It worked the first day, and then never again, until now. I keep cutting into the frame of the window. I'm getting more and more nervous as the art show approaches. My coworker had a bad experience with her first art show at the district I work at because the other elementary art teachers, their art looked really nice and like uniform, but hers did not because she wasn't quite doing the same stuff, and I teach choice-based art. So I'm a little bit nervous about how people will receive the finished products of choice-based art. They get better as you go, and there's some really beautiful like gem pieces of art mixed in. I've got this 5th grade class. I want to put all of their art in the show so bad, but it probably wouldn't be fair, you know. But it's really high quality. They really, really care. And then we have a few classes that they just draw a few lines on a page and they're like, yep, I'm done. And so, I mean, that kind of art can't go in an art show. So I'm going to have the students like think about what it is that they want their school to be represented by. So I think it'll be a good learning opportunity for them to get to kind of help choose their own school's art. But I'm, again, still nervous about how it might get received by the public. My coworker got an email from a parent. Again, I teach elementary art, okay? She got an email from a parent, and the parent was like, the art wasn't very good. And I was like, what? And she's like, it's been better in previous years. Mind you, my coworker, that was her first year ever teaching elementary. And so it seems to me like, yeah, you might not have masterpieces the first year if you've never taught elementary art before. But she was like, not to be rude, but the art really was just horrible. Like, you're talking about actual children. So I just thought it was ridiculous. Like, you could have, I don't know, thought about it and just not sent that. If anyone comes at me with that type of stuff, I'm planning on talking about choice-based art and how it's about the process more than the final result. And citing the learning that's going on. Oh my gosh, I was so proud of my students today. We were going over the elements of art, and I gave them one single letter as a clue. Okay, so I gave them like the first letter of the word as a clue. They remembered all of them and what all of the elements of art meant. I was so impressed. It was 4th grade. I feel like I hardly went over them too. And I don't think they emphasized it a lot previous years. So I was genuinely surprised. I'm excited to see how the rest of my students do with this. I'm kind of doing like a hangman style thing. So I wrote the first letter and then blanks for the rest of the word. And they had to talk about it with each other and see if they could remember. And they were so excited to share and try to remember together. I was so proud of them. And it made me feel a little competent, or more competent than I've been feeling lately, because I've felt a little underprepared recently. Turns out I might have just been burnt out. Shocking. Okay, so now I'm carving open the mushroom on this side to create a window. And I'm thinking afterwards I'm going to put like some cross beams in the window. But I have to be really careful not to carve too much out. Like I almost just did. So I'm hoping back to my test run with the elements of art. The way that we measure growth in the district that I'm in is they take like an elements of art test in the 5th grade and the 2nd grade level. And then obviously you take like the original scores of the pre-test and then you compare it to the post-test. I have really good I have good faith that I'm going to get some good scores. I could also tell the classes I didn't emphasize it quite as much, though. Alexa, turn down the volume. So that was interesting to see. Okay, so now we have a window. I'm excited. I got some moss to put on this once it's all dry and done being sculpted. Which I'm not sure if it'll be ready to add like paint and stuff because the moss will have to go on last. So I don't think it'll be ready for that step next week because drying time will probably take a while to get it fully dry. And then paint it. Painting is probably going to take a while. Oh my gosh, Jack Sparrow joined. That is so funny. I had a cat named Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, plus also, you know, there's the character Jack Sparrow. But I had a cat named Captain Jack Sparrow. I called him Jack for short, obviously. But welcome. Oh my gosh, I can't believe my cat is actually sitting in the cat cam. I'm so happy. I should really make sure that all of my other socials are linked in TikTok because I keep talking about like streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but I don't think they're linked. So excuse me. I just got a new microphone that's supposed to be wireless and like work really well. I just haven't troubleshooted it yet. But I'm hoping to be able to capture some sounds like when I soak dry clay with water. It makes a really cool crackling sound. But you can't really hear it. It's really satisfying. I'm super tired. It's only 7:13 though. I mean, that's about the time I finish streaming. I'll probably go for 15 more minutes. I'm trying to get this done if I can. But honestly, I need my sleep. My husband is sick right now. And I'm kind of worried I'm going to get it. I hope not. Hey, extended spring break, am I right? Just kidding. I don't want an extended spring break if it means I'm sick. That sounds not fun. Oh, I keep forgetting to download my streams so that I can make a video out of it. Because then I can just kind of make like a sped up version. Kind of like, I follow this streamer and YouTuber who plays Sims. And she builds stuff on stream and then she just speeds it up and does kind of like a voiceover sort of thing. And I feel like that would work well for art, because then I can just kind of explain what I'm doing and thought process behind things. Although I would argue it takes a lot longer to do this. Depends on what I'm doing, though. Oh, I can hear the rain. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Doesn't look like my mic's picking it up at all. It sounds so nice and peaceful, though. I actually have to listen to rain sounds to fall asleep at night. Fun fact about me. In fact, one night, I asked my Echo to play the rain sounds, and it was acting up, so it kept like cutting out every minute or so, and I just kept snapping back fully awake, and it was getting so annoying. So we ended up like using an app on the phone to be able to listen to the rain sounds. That's how important they are. It's interesting because it kind of pulls over from my time as a child, because I would also fall asleep listening to rain sounds when I was a kid. Alright, is my needle tool over here? It is. Oh, okay, it is. I thought it wasn't. So now we need to create a little hole for the doorknob. And I'm thinking about putting some holes all the way around to have little like pinpricks of light. But this is where I'm gonna hopefully put a wire to create like a doorknob. And actually, I can use this to straighten up some of my edges. And ruin it too. I could do that. Sounds fun. This is kind of the trick that I use, is I use a needle tool for a lot of things. Because a lot of times if you accidentally scratch a spot with a needle tool, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Because it just does a little bit of damage. Man, I put both of these sticks in the wrong place because this one's right in the way and this one's right in the way. I got one more spot to scrape. Well, one to finish and one to start on. I don't want to like burnish this. I should probably do that before it dries too much. Burnishing is when you go over top of clay to smooth it out a lot. And I figure the thing that makes the most sense to be smooth would be this part of the mushroom cap. Felt a little discouraged the other day though. I was in Hobby Lobby looking for some moss and I saw some fairy houses and there were some mushroom ones, kind of like what I do, obviously not as well crafted, but it was like $20 and I was like, oh man, if I charged $20 for something like this, I'd be paying myself 50 cents an hour probably, just because of like the cost to make it and everything, like the cost of the supplies mixed with the time, because I think I've been doing this in stream for quite some time now. I can't wait until summer when I can actually work on art more, and I would love to stream every day, honestly. But I want to create like a sustainable routine with it, because every day is not sustainable during the school year. I would literally do nothing besides go to work and stream if I did that. Hence why I limit it to 1 day a week. Oh, and yeah, I did miss last week. I felt kind of bad, but it was my spring break, and I don't even remember what I was doing on Tuesday. I think I was going to paint a business sign. I never finished that. Oh no, I was supposed to be done before spring break was over. Oh no. To be fair, it would have been done, but the owner had asked me to change something. So, to be fair, it's okay. But I should really probably get in there and do that. Question is, when would I have time to do that? Okay. I'm gonna have to add the chimney on post drying. That'll be fine then, because I won't have to worry as much about like the time crunch of getting it all done. Okay, so now we carve from this side. Forgot how thick I made this clay on the inside here. I didn't mean to. I just created the structure for the log first, and then I found this like rubber texture sheet. So I was like, hey, instead of carving all the texture by hand, that's a great idea. So then it just ended up being twice as thick. Sorry, I'm so quiet at this point. I'm just so tired. You know what I'm realizing? I gotta do some texture on the door. I mean, I don't have to, but I want to. Oh, and actually I should go around and poke some holes through so that I can get some of that light shining that I want. And the idea is if there's any areas that are messed up with the wood grain, I will just be putting moss over it. So it'll be like it never happened. Pretty smart, if you ask me. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is still way too thick on the inside. I keep getting a request to verify on TikTok. Verify if I'm really a person. Probably because near the end of my stream I stopped talking as much. I'm just going to use my nail to burnish with. It works better. Except for fine details, but that is what it is. I really was hoping I wouldn't need to cover this back up. But it's seeming like I might need to. I want to let it dry. I also kind of feel bad because I was talking about streaming a bunch of times over break, and then that never happened. To be fair, I did a lot of other things. I went to play laser tag with some friends, and bowl. Went ice skating. We did so many cool things over break. It was very nice. I can't wait until I won't be jam-packing everything into a few days and I'll be able to get more done for fun and for my art business. I'm actually gonna start like really trying to sell my stuff this summer. My website lapsed because, not my website, my Etsy lapsed because my card expired. So I haven't dealt with that in a while. I was like, why am I not getting any orders for my pottery? I went and looked and I'm like, oh, that's why. I just have not had the time to do it. That's how busy I am all the time. But we'll see how things change this summer. I'm almost wondering if I should open up my own website to sell from, because Etsy really wasn't doing me any favors, you know. It wasn't really increasing my traffic at all. Which is another reason why I was like, it's just not worth it. I was paying money and not getting any sales. I also wasn't advertising a ton too, but they talk about how you can get like organic sales too, and I hardly got any of them. Most of them were from my TikTok when I was making more TikToks. I wonder if you guys can hear the rain now. Oh, it's raining really hard. Now this is my favorite way to make art. Calming music playing, rain hitting the roof. That's good stuff.